What's up, this is Enrique, Milwaukee Screen Printing, T-shirt booming, and today we're going to be printing shirts for a brewery, Local Brewery here in Milwaukee. It's really cool to be able to partner with different local businesses in our neighborhood and in the city. We kind of pride ourselves on that, being a staple in our community and helping other staples in our communities grow. So today we're going to be using these black independent hoodies. These are the midweight. This is like a standard hoodie. A lot of people go with Gildan, but this is the price is pretty equivalent, and the quality is like 10 times better. So if you have a client who doesn't know what type of hoodies they want, instead of just giving them Gildan, you could always upgrade them to the independent, and you won't spend any more money, but your clients will be super happy. And then we're going to be using this white ink. So this is a new ink that I just got. I usually use Wilflex, but we're going to try to use this Rapid Cure. As you can see, it's almost gone. I really like this ink. It cures at 270, so Rapid Cure, it works really good. You can get it from screenprintdirect.com, so I recommend this. So this should be enough ink for these 20 hoodies, but we'll see. So I got a scrap shirt on the press. I'm going to run a test print quick. And then we'll start printing the order. Anytime we print on a dark color, especially when we use white ink, we have to do at least 2 passes. So I got my flash dryer on. So the print looks good, and we're good to start printing. So I got this Rise adhesive. I'm going to use it on this order. I'm just spraying all the flatsins just to make sure that the hoodie sticks, because we're doing 2 colors or 2 coats. So when we flash it, sometimes the material shrinks. And in order to prevent that, we use adhesive to keep the material where it is, so that when we print the second color, it stays in the same spot.
Okay.
So the first coat looks pretty good, and now what we're going to do is flash it and then run a second coat. So sometimes when I print hoodies, I don't keep it under the flash just for the first one. I kind of will keep it under there for like at least 10-15 seconds, and then I'll move it. Just because if it stays under there too long, the ink will start to like overburn. So then it dries and then like it melts again and it becomes like really weird. And the hoodie shrinks too. Because it's like when you wash your clothes, sometimes your clothes shrink. So you gotta be careful. I've been doing this for so long, so I kind of just have like a sixth sense of when I'm like burning a hoodie. I mean, it still happens, but it doesn't happen as much anymore. currently I'm at like 665 subscribers. I need 1,000 to be monetized. So I think the next videos I'm going to be posting are going to be super informative, because I know people who want to learn about screen printing don't just want to see somebody printing, they want to like get tips and tricks. So as long as I can help you all, I'm going to keep making these videos. So I do need like 340 more subscribers. I did gain almost 100 in the last month. So I figured if I at least do like 4 more videos a month, by summer my page will be monetized. And that means that you all are going to know a lot about screen printing. So this is the second coat. I don't need to flash it after I do a second coat, but I just do just to be safe. I could just literally throw it on the conveyor dryer. But I kind of like the rhythm. I like to stay in rhythm. This company placed this order on Monday, and it's Thursday today, so I ordered the hoodies and I'm going to print them by Friday. I think that's like a good tip. Just to like stay on top of your orders, just try to get them done as soon as possible, especially if it's a new client. So people usually expect their orders to be done within 2 weeks, so that's how it came out. It looks pretty good. Customer's gonna be super happy. Just gonna throw it through the conveyor and let it dry. But yeah, customers usually are expecting their order to be done within like 2 weeks, sometimes even 3 weeks. So if you get it done the same week, not only do you build trust with your client, but they're gonna know that you're super professional and you take their business serious. And imagine just calling somebody, never meeting them, and they send you an invoice for like $600,000, $2,000, and you pay it blindly. So you're gonna be a little anxious. You know, you're gonna be a little nervous. So I'm just trying to make them as less nervous as possible, so that kind of like gives them that security that they know that when they place an order with me, they're gonna be taken care of in time. Another little tip, if you notice, I have these little lines drawn on my platen, on the adhesive tape. So I draw those lines so that I know where to put the neck. I mean, that's a different line, so that's for the shirt. So this line of the hoodie is gonna end here. So if I do that with all of the hoodies, I know that the placement on the chest of the hoodie is going to be in the same spot every time. And the way I was able to measure that is I wrote this line down on the press where the end of the screen goes, and then I measured the same distance on each platen so that it's all on the same axis when the screen comes down. Another little tip is if you see, like, I didn't print anything on these yet, but I'm flashing them. So if I flash them before I print, the hoodie will shrink. If it's gonna shrink, it'll shrink so that when I do the first coat, the next time I flash it to the flash, it's not gonna shrink anymore. So it's good to, like, sometimes some people run their blank garments through the conveyor for that same reason, so they can shrink them before they print them. So adhesive and flashing them is a good way to, like, just kind of mitigate any errors. Also, one thing, a lot of people who like screen print always talk about how small my squeegees are compared to the image, which it is an issue. But for me, since I've always printed with this, I've always been printing with like not all the resources that I needed, but I just learned how to make it work. So we've been around for like at least 14 years, like just using what we have to like make it work. And even though I do have bigger squeegees that I use for different images, I'm used to doing it like this without creating any errors. And it kind of is comfortable for me to do. I like using these, they just fit really good. And everybody has different preferences. You don't necessarily need to like go on YouTube and copy what the other people are doing, because like everybody has their own workflow and different styles of learning. Like for example, like when I started screen print, the people that I was like watching weren't necessarily like from the same environment that I was from, or like listen to the same type of music, and you could see it in their like style of teaching. And it was a little harder for me to get into screen printing because there really wasn't a manual, or people around me weren't doing it. I had to like learn from YouTube. And a lot of these people that I was watching, they had everything. You know, they were able to start with an automatic. They were able to start with like all the equipment. I started literally from like recycled screens and worked my way up, and that kind of gave me the understanding of screen printing. It's like how somebody becomes a black belt in Taekwondo. Like they don't start out with all of like the the equipment, the gym. They start from maybe running laps in the backyard, or doing like a few punches, and kind of like learning the philosophy of screen printing, learning like different techniques. And for me, it was just it was kind of cool starting with nothing, starting with the bare minimum, and then little by little getting different materials so that I could understand like why this 4-arm press or the 6-screen press works, or why the conveyor is really important. We started out with a flash. I started with water-based, where I didn't need a flash or a conveyor dryer, and I was just sitting all of these shirts in my parents' basement, letting them air dry. So if a customer wanted an order, I couldn't get it done for them in a day because the shirts wouldn't dry. Once I bought the flash, it was cutting that day down by a third. And then once I got the conveyor dryer, I could turn over a shirt order within like a few hours. So just like understanding those little like steps and those little levels, and understanding why upgrading equipment is important. Like this thing costs thousands of dollars. This press costs thousands of dollars. And as a small business, you might be like scared about those kind of things. Like, oh, I can't buy that because if I buy that, then I'm not gonna have money for the rent. So a story is, I bought this press when I was doing some like campaign work. I didn't set it up. I had a customer who had like a 4-color shirt on the front and like a 4-color on the back, and I had the blanks, but I needed to get it done within like 18 hours. Like I had 18 hours to do like this order, but I had a single arm press, and there was no way that I was going to be able to get that done in time. But once I set up the press, within 3 hours the whole order was done, and that allowed me to understand that that order that he placed was a big order. It was a few $1,000s. So that money that I bought the press for, I was able to get it back with one order. So it's always good to think bigger and not be scared of like spending it, because once you upgrade to different equipment, you're able to like you're upgrading. You're able to do more work. It's like farming. If you're on the ground just with like a shovel and a seed, you have to wait a whole year to get your thing. But if you have a tractor that's able to like drop all these seeds, you're gonna go faster and make more crop, and eventually make more money. So it's just like a good thing that I was able to learn. That's it.